electrical department in this session?
A multidisciplinary, ma'am. Computer science as well as electrical.
Very nice to have them. And today my talk is about the key features of machine learning, big data, deep learning techniques for smart grid. We'll be touching upon how each and every concept plays a role for smart grid's implementation. And to make things more interesting, I have prepared for a hands-on session in Python also. Having said everything all and done, how to implement, if you have any kind of simulation results, how to work with machine learning or deep learning. Just a brief introduction will be given on that. So everyone will be knowing what is a smart grid and all. In case if there are anyone to start now, introduction to smart grid, like how Wikipedia gives a definition about the same, is a smart grid is an electrical grid which includes a variety of operation and energy measures, which includes advanced metering structure. Advanced metering in the sense how our electricity bills and all will come, pay as we use. So for that, metering infrastructure is provided. And the smart distribution board and circuit breakers are integrated with home control and demand response. They include load control switches and smart appliances. Renewable energy resources, including capacity to charge parked batteries or large array of batteries, recycled from these or other energy storages. And we have sufficient utility grade fiber broadband to connect and monitor the above with wireless as backup. So sufficient spare is required if for dark capacity to ensure failover, which often leads for revenue. Means whatever extra we have, it is given to for a lease. Means in Andhra Pradesh, if I have excess electricity power, supposing in Karnataka, some district I am facing a power shortage, I can take it on lease. So what is a smart grid? The term smart grid, it is used to describe the integration of information and digital communication and the digital communication technologies with the power grid systems. Usually they are all very bidirectional in communication, and power flow can enhance security, reliability, efficiency of the power system. The connectivity lies at the core of this modern grid infrastructure, which is provided by the IoT. IoT stands for Internet of Things. One of the use cases of edge computing is Internet of Things. However, constant connectivity and communication introduces a massive data volume that demands techniques far superior to conventional methods to allow for proper analysis and decision making. While an IoT integrated smart grid system can provide efficient energy transmission, lower management cost, better security, and integration of the renewable energy, big data analysis and machine learning techniques are essential to realize these benefits. So how a conventional grid looks like, these are all the power generators, hydropower, nuclear power, and other things. And for a high distribution voltages which are required for large scale industries and factories, and how low voltage distribution is given for mid-sized offices and residences. So in this conventional power system, power flow only in one direction. So I have given references from where all the figures and the data is taken for that. It is provided at the end of the presentation. So how our smart grid looks like, there is no strict guidelines for the structure for the smart grid. So the generation can occur even at the consumer side. Consumer side means in houses you can have solar home power, wind power and all, or generators you can keep. So the solar farms at the outer periphery of this topology can be seen. So here the power flow can also be bidirectional, which are demonstrated by the energy storages and the house in this illustration. So this is how our smart grid looks like. Just a pictorial representation. So what is the ideal smart grid features? What all it should have? It should have self-repair of the grid should happen. Means in the smart grid, self-repair control system can automatically diagnose, recover, quickly restore power supply, shorten power failure time, reduce power failure frequency and power failure range. And it should have free access to renewable energy. Means the application of new materials, energy storage technology, and information technology, as well as the support of two-way flow of the electric energy, makes the smart grid have strong resource allocation capacity and support the access of large-scale renewable energy generation. Smart grid can also optimize the asset allocation of the power grid enterprises, which leads to the effective operation. An example taken is the dynamic evaluation and adjustment can make the assets of enterprise play the best performance and improve the use efficiency of the assets. And it should improve the electricity market. Means the development of electricity market depends on the decent infrastructure and technical support system. With advanced equipment and information system, the smart grid guarantees the operation of the electricity market, connecting numerous buyers and sellers. And this is seen a lot in abroad countries and not here, because everything here is centralized. Means we have state governments and central governments being involved with all the power grid and all. So in other countries like Canada and all, everything is privatized. So they can look into that electricity market and all. I'm not very sure how it works with the Indian markets here. And since it is already discussed that they implement two-way real-time communication, so the user can not only receive information, but also feedback their own demand information to the system. So in two-way communication, users benefit from changes in the way they use and buy power. So from the point of view of the power grid manager, effective management of the user demand can help balance the power supply and enhance the reliability of the power system. As of now, where all it is approved in India is given by here. It is approved by the Ministry of Power, where are all the smart grid pilot projects given. So as of now, the Ministry of Power has allocated 14 smart grid pilot projects that will be implemented by various state-owned distribution utilities in India. So it is periodically updated on this website and all. That is also given in the reference. So as of now, we have one in Haryana, one in Gujarat, one in Karnataka, one in Pondicherry, one in Telangana state, one in Assam, Tripura, West Bengal, IIT Kanpur, and Himachal Pradesh, and one in Manesar. So coming to IoT-based smart grids, what comes to your picture when you see something called as Internet of Things? Only home were connected with electricity. Later on, slowly we started the evolution of having fridge, TVs, and water heaters, electric pumps to pump your water and all. It was all connected to the electricity. So how you used to control them? We used to have switch, on and off switch. Very simple it was. Slightly, the home automation system came into picture. So what happened with the home automation? You might have seen something called as Alexa, and a lot of advertisements will be rolling over. So you can turn on and turn off your lights using that Alexa. How it is done? So through internet, there is a control over all these appliances with that particular device. So a large plethora of a lot of devices started getting connected with the internet, so that you could use with the home automation system to keep things simple. So IoT-based smart grids, how it plays a very important role. So constant connectivity and communication is one of the core components of the smart grid that requires devices equipped with such capabilities. The network created by such devices connected to other nodes of the system through the internet are called as Internet of Things. In the Internet of Things, each object has its own identity in the digital world. So each and everything has a unique address, unique IPs and all. So that is what it is called as. It has its own identity. So everything is connected through a complex network. This IoT comprises of smart objects which possess self-awareness, interaction with the environment, and data processing. Smart devices are capable to communicate with each other such devices in this kind of system. So the implementation of this Internet of Things in smart grid can be categorized into 3 steps predicted on the IoT 3-layered architecture. One is the perceptron layer, the other is the network layer, the other one is the application layer. So the IoT is implemented for the deployment of different smart devices that monitor the states of various components of smart grid. The second thing is, with the help of IoT smart devices, information is collected from the equipment through different communication technologies. This happens at the network layer. The third IoT is implemented to control the smart grid by application interface. It is at the IoT application layer. The sensing devices of this Internet of Things generally consist of RFIDs, wireless sensors, cameras, machine-to-machine devices, infrared sensors, GPS, and laser scanner. These are some of the sensing devices. The RFIDs and all you might have seen in big malls and all. Whenever you purchase some kind of clothing, they'll use that RFID tags will be there. So wherever you just shoplift it and run anywhere around, they can find out where is that particular thing. So that is the use of RFIDs. And smart grid information is sensing is highly improved and supported by the IoT technology. The IoT technology contributes a lot to the deployment of transmission and data sensing infrastructure for the smart grid, and it assists in the network construction, maintenance, operation, security monitoring, safety management, user interaction, information collection, measurement, and other things associated with that. And this diagram is the 5-layer architecture of the Internet of Things. So we see perception layer, which consists of physical objects, sensors, and wireless sensors and all. And network layer, it usually maintains the transmission, like 3G connection, 4G connection, everything comes here. The middleware layer, it consists of storage, information processing, and what action has to be taken on that data. And this is the application layer, where all our smart applications are managed. And coming to the business layer, we should have a chart, flowcharts, graphs, analytics and all, like how the data is used. So coming to what is, as of now, we saw what is the role of IoT for the smart grid, and coming to big data and smart grid. So what is big data? So all these days, we used to have data only in terms of MBs and terabytes, and now because of the introduction of many applications, you might have seen thousands of tweets come per second, thousands of news feeds will be there on Facebook, and lot of posts will come on Twitter, LinkedIn and all. So everything goes in petabytes, and everything is 10 to the power 50, 10 to the power 25. That is the huge volume of data we are going to do, and it is going to be more bigger than what we had even imagined. So that is where big data comes into picture. So what is big data in the sense? It is a larger and more complex data set, especially from new data sources. What are all the new data sources? It might be YouTube for all kind of videos, and audios are also seen, and Twitter, lot of live tweets come, Facebook, Instagram, a lot of news feeds will be there. So there will all are new data, and they're huge, very, very huge. So these data sets are so voluminous that traditional data processing software just cannot manage them. But these massive volumes of data can be used to address business problems we wouldn't have been able to tackle before. So the definition of big data is data that contains greater variety, arriving in increasing volumes and with more velocity. And it is also known as 3V. If you want to add two more V's for that, one is value, the other is veracity. And the big data, it comes from many sources, which includes social media, sensors, Internet of Things, video surveillance, and many sources of data that may not have been considered even data a few years ago. So these are all the non-electrical and electrical big data set in the smart grid, which you can expect. One is a simulation, the other is the asset inventory, social media as it is, SCADA, and user or operator's input, and field measurement units are there, GIS, and networks, which includes power or communication, the traffic data, smart meters, smart appliances or sensors, and the weather data is also not ignored here. So it is essential to process such large volumes of data in real time and historical data to extract meaningful information in order to make the data, it should make decisions on its own. When we have lots of data, it is better to make the machine to learn from that data. So therefore, big data analytics will play a very critical role, not only for the efficient operation of future electric grid, but also for the development of proper business models for the key stakeholders. Who are all the key stakeholders? They can be electrical utilities, system operators, they can also be consumers and aggregators. The key challenge of big data analytics is to turn a large volume of raw data into actionable information by effectively integrating into power system operational decision framework. Efficient deployment of big data into electric utilities planning and operation can lead to multiple benefits, including improved reliability and resiliency, optimized resource management or operations, improved operational decision, and increased economic benefit to customer, utility, and the system operators. As smart grid data increases exponentially in the future, utilities must envision ever-increasing challenges on data storage, processing of that data, and the analytics of the same. So what is the application of artificial intelligence in smart grid? So we have a figure here. It shows the power and operational data, which is in the larger application of artificial intelligence in the power grid. So the application field includes energy supply, power system control, fault diagnosis, load forecasting, and anything else you want to put forth, you can have all that here. And as a part of this application field, we have machine learning and cloud computing. And as a subset of this is the power operation data. So the core of intelligent power grid lies in replacing manual operation with artificial intelligence to obtain the advantage of high efficiency, improved reliability, and lower operating cost for that. The application scenarios of artificial intelligence in every link of power system, such as power generation, power transmission, power transformation, the distribution of the power, and the power consumption. So the application of artificial intelligence in power load forecasting, one of them is power load forecasting is the prediction of power demand in the grid. So power load forecasting can be divided into short, medium, long-term forecasting, ranging in time for a few minutes to more than a year. At present, artificial neural network technology has become one of the commonly used methods to predict power load. Do you have any insights on this? What are all technologies might be used as a part of artificial neural network to predict the power load? It's widely used in power system load forecasting. The long and short time memory LSTM network is a common model in the field of deep learning. This model is an improved one based on recursive neural network, RNNs for short form. The characteristic of LSTM network is to use memory modules instead of common hidden nodes to ensure that the gradient will not disappear or expand after passing through many time steps, so as to overcome some difficulty encountered in the traditional recurrent neural network training. LSTM is suitable for processing and predicting important events with relatively long intervals and delay in time series. So the power generation forecast of renewable energy, one of the use cases we can take. The application of renewable energy power generation is increasingly popular, but the intermittent and volatility of renewable energy generation will affect the stability of the grid. The accurate prediction of renewable energy generation is of great significance to the stable, efficient, and economical operation of the power system. The traditional shallow model prediction method has poor prediction performance when dealing with non-linear and non-stationary wind or light data. Similar to the load prediction principle, LSTM model can also be effectively applied to the power prediction of the wind power and photovoltaic power generation, and other deep learning models can also be tested and used. The fault diagnosis and protection of flexible equipment in power system. This is one of the use case. So the fault diagnosis and protection of flexible equipment in power system is the defense line to ensure the safety of the equipment, which plays an important role in quickly isolating fault, avoiding equipment damage and fault expansion. The fault characteristics of flexible equipment in power system are affected by its own variable structure, strong coupling, uncertain control variables, and other factors. So it is difficult to carry out the fault diagnosis. Deep learning can acquire deep feature of fault samples for flexible equipment and introduce new knowledge to expand the sample space through migration learning, so as to clearly express fault characteristics of flexible equipment in different levels. So analysis of consumer electricity consumption behavior. The clustering and identification ability of machine learning in artificial intelligence can be utilized to analyze the power consumption behavior of users, detect abnormal power consumption, and non-invasive load monitoring. Based on the data of power, voltage, and the current measured by the smart meters, artificial intelligence clustering and data mining can be used to identify the characteristics of electricity consumption behavior of different user groups, realize the scientific segmentation of customer. Power consumption analysis and abnormal behavior detection can be summarized as the description of user characteristics, which can be solved mathematically by feature extraction or classification. The establishment of multi-hidden layer deep learning network can build a classifier with better performance. Coming to power network security protection. Since the smart grid is a complicated system with real-time perception, information service, and dynamic control, the deep flow information interaction will make the power system face more potential threat. The network attack of the power system has the characteristics of a strong concealment and long incubation period. Although the primary equipment is not directly damaged, the secondary system can destroy to attack the physical power grid. Deep learning can automatically identify network attack features, detect malware and intrusion, and provide network security protection for the power system. The probability of power system being attacked is far less than that of the normal operation. So the abnormal sample data of power network being attacked is far less than that of the normal sample data. The training process of deep learning does not require sample labels, which can mitigate the impact of insufficient sample size. So, any questions so far? Learning, as I said, it is the field of study that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed, and this definition was said by Arthur Samuel in 1959. With the increase in the amount of big data, machine learning has become a crucial technique to solve problems. Means automating the entire data processing, which is also called as data science and all, automating that will lead to machine learning. Means what has to be done with that processed and stored data, the implementation of such data will be machine learning. So the steady evolution of computation method, especially in data management and analysis, has enabled several machine learning techniques to be implemented in smart grid application. It fits in as the final piece of smart grid system, which is driven by data collection, analysis, and decision making. Machine learning techniques provide an efficient way to analyze and then make appropriate decision to run the grid, and thus enables the smart grid to function as it is intended to. Machine learning functionalities includes prediction of the consumption price, future optimum scheduling, fault detection, and detection of the network intruders. Due to the complex nature of the smart grid technology, there are manifold opportunities for attackers to disrupt the system. Therefore, a complex defense strategy is required to cover all sorts of threat and vulnerability a smart grid can encounter. Machine learning techniques have been proved to be an especially useful tool to prevent a denial of service attack. Machine learning can detect attacks, take proactive action to address the known issue, and notify security administrators. The migration of the electric sector towards smart grid demands the continuous development of machine learning technique, since their implementation can harmoniously integrate all the components used. This then grants reliability in smart electric system as well as guaranteeing quality, efficiency, and continuity. So what are all the challenges which can be encountered as a part of machine learning? The challenge which is encountered at the beginning of the implementation of smart grid is different, and a lot of stakeholders are involved who works at different paces. Means this is not restricted to only one particular thing. You should have qualified engineers to work with the smart grid. You want to have people who can lay out that lines and power grids and all for that, and you require other vendors. So a lot of different stakeholders are involved from various departments who work at, they all have the different pace they work with. So the synchronization and adoption of such novel technologies happens at a diverse pace, especially in a country like ours where you are expected to have a huge population. Adoption and synchronization, it will happen at a very, very different pace. Not everyone works at the same speed as it is to sink in. So huge infrastructure investments are expected, and regulatory obstacles and jurisdictional issues are there. I need not explain about that. That is all known, like the time they call the tender, the time they will approve that, and things associated with that, lot of regulation obstacles and all will happen. Entire energy chain will be impacted when operated on such large scales, obviously. Other open issues to implement machine learning and deep learning. This is with respect to what actually related to the field. These are all the problems, but outside the field, what are all the other things are there that is also expected on a larger scale. Means the beginning step itself is not very easy, just the moment you want to step into the implementation of smart grid. So the other open issues what you can have is procuring labels from inconsistent operational data. Many machines will be from different time zone, means one might be very old, one might be very new. So how to make them sync, and what are all the data which comes from such inconsistent devices you have, that is one of the problems. And security concerns over enormous data accumulation, how to secure when you have large amounts of data, that is also one of the problems. And security issues with vulnerable centralized controllers, incomplete energy acquisitions, inaccuracies in electric load forecast. These are all some of the challenges to implement the smart grid. You have any other insights you can share here, which help understanding of the problem and provide feasible technical solution for the same. One is dynamic pricing for demand response in microgrids. What is a microgrid? In a sense, it is a local electricity source connected to the smart grid environment. It can operate on its autonomously, means no interference is required for that. And load forecasting in smart grids can be seen. That is also one of the use cases. Equipment health monitoring. What it means in the sense to know the status of different equipment, inclusive of power consumption meter and power generators on a large scale. So the faults which are detected earlier will avoid unwanted chaos in the electricity distribution. cyber attacks in bidirectional energy trading. So smart grid technology, as we had discussed before, there is a two-way communication between the consumer and the utility consumer. So it involves lot of sensitive data, which is very vulnerable to cyber attacks. And the other thing is how energy management works with electric vehicles, because not only going forward, it is not only petrol and diesel, we have a lot of electric vehicles also coming. Already you might have seen scooters, cars and all. So they also require some charging point in the houses, or if you're going on a long distances, some charging points or nodal points are installed for the same. So how that energy management happens with the electric vehicles. So this gives the feasible technical solutions for these use cases. Dynamic demand pricing and consumer energy consumption scheduling. What is the application is RL-based multi-agent learning algorithm in microgrids. What is the solution for that? Both the consumer and service provider learn the strategy without a priori information or dynamics on the microgrid. So what are the benefits of the same? It is the efficient energy consumption and better pricing capabilities for the service provider. The other one is consumer energy consumption scheduling. So the application is deep learning, reinforcement learning, convolutional neural network, Q-learning, and recurrent neural network in consumption scheduling at small commercial and residential buildings. What is the solution is determining the energy consumption level of individual appliances to solve the consumer energy consumption scheduling. What is the benefit expected is accurate consumer energy consumption scheduling. Cyber attacks in smart grids. So deep learning based cyber attack model can be done, or recurrent neural network and blockchain, which uses hash and shard signatures for energy exchange. The solution is fault tolerant energy transaction detects the intruders during trading. The benefits expected is safe, fault tolerant, privacy preserving energy trading and high throughput. Load forecast in smart grids are artificial neural network, convolutional neural network, stochastic models for building energy prediction. So energy consumption prediction by considering various dynamically changing parameters. The benefit expected is accurate energy load prediction. Equipment health monitoring. So deep learning can be used for wind turbine condition monitoring. Unsupervised learning algorithms are more prevalent than supervised learning algorithm because of the inconsistent operation data we have. So everything need not have a label. So you can train the machine to learn from that unlabeled data, which leads to unsupervised learning. And it leads to effective maintenance of the same. So electric vehicles in electric charging in smart grid leads to deep neural network or convolutional neural network can be seen. They will be more useful for that. So what are all the future directions which can be seen apart from after implementing this big data and IoT, machine learning, deep learning and all for the same? How the future direction can move for this? So some of the future possible future aspect of sustainable energy services through the smart grids. One is blockchain for smart grid technology. So how blockchain works here is nothing is centralized, so everything will be decentralized. So the decentralized handling of big energy data, which can be managed more easily, because there won't be pressure on one particular processing unit will be there. So it will be decentralized. So making them into smaller blocks will lead to more efficient management of the same. So a lightweight blockchain framework can be deployed with smart grid and deep learning, thereby segregating the metadata by maintaining a chain side for enhancing security and privacy in the energy transaction. Metadata means raw data. However it will be maintained so that it will lead to more enhanced security and privacy when you are doing the energy transaction. This blockchain is even used in the cryptocurrencies also, which you might have heard nowadays. So all these days, how the money used to come, we used to have RBI. They used to decide how much notes has to be printed and all. Everything is centralized. So what happens in cryptocurrency? So there will be some remote data mining will be there. Everything is decentralized. But whatever, wherever you are going to mine them, they will be having one digital identifier for that. So you'll be knowing from where we are getting that. So whoever transacts using the same, instead of calling it as a transaction, they call it as a mining. So much money will be mined. That is the concept behind cryptocurrency that works on blockchain, because tracking of things is very easy using blockchain. The same blockchain is can be implemented here also for the energy trading. And as I said, using edge artificial intelligence for smart grid technology. So edge computing, what is an edge computing in the sense? It is a distributed computing paradigm that brings computation and storage closer. One of such use cases is Internet of Things. So edge computing, it uses real-time data, whereas cloud computing uses big data. Intelligence at the edge helps in making real-time perception based on the data generated from the edge devices like smart meter using AI algorithm processed at the edge, smart grid edge devices. And the quantum computing for smart grid technology, this is very interesting because there is a concept known as quantum entanglement, which can be seen only in quantum states. Entanglement in the sense, instead of having the binary states 0 or 1, there is a possibility of a quantum state that it can be both 0 and 1. This leads to more means it cannot be easily tracked whether it is this state or that state. That entangled state is the concept behind quantum cryptography. So the quantum cryptography can be employed to secure smart grid from cyber attacks. Quantum cryptography can be integrated with blockchain for secured energy trading from multiple sources. That is a very interesting field. If you are interested in, I would recommend everyone to go through that. And more higher, instead of having 3G and 4G, it is better to move towards 5G and about technology for faster energy trading. So the low latency and ultra reliable 5G network operating at higher frequency support machine-to-machine communication, which will be benefiting the scalable smart grid technology. One of the primitive challenges with the smart grid enabled deep learning is larger resource consumption for processing the energy and data accumulation with electric vehicles management during energy trading. And upon integration of this ultra reliable 5G with smart grid enabled deep learning can fasten the data processing and can improve the performance of the DL models with better accuracy. So if you have any questions, we can take it up before moving to hands-on sessions. So for all this presentation, I have used these particular references for the same. For hands-on session, I have used other reference materials. So for this slides, if you want to go through in detail, this is a very interesting paper, which I would recommend all of you to go through if you are interested. Even NPTEL course have also been designed for this based on this paper. It's very interesting. They're able to engage for the entire hour how things will work, how at a very layman level they have broken it down into very interesting topics. So that is a very good paper to go with. So coming to